Hello students, welcome to our virtual class of Science, Standard 9, Lesson number 40, Natural Resources. Resources, what is the meaning of resources? Resources means anything which is useful to us. For example, right now I am using my mobile for recording this video. So the mobile is a resource for me. If I need this pencil is also a resource for me. So anything useful to us is called resource. Name of the lesson is natural resource. Natural resource means the things which we get from nature and are useful to us are called natural resources. Things which get from nature and are useful to us are called natural resources. Now in nature, from where we get the things from? We get the things from land, water or air because these are the components of nature. So land is called lithosphere, water is called hydrosphere, air is called atmosphere. Now one by one we are going to see how all these spheres are a resource for us. Let us see what are the uses of air. Now we always say we cannot live without air. Why we cannot live without air? Because air contains oxygen. And oxygen is a life-giving gas. Without oxygen, we cannot live. Oxygen is required for the process of respiration. Yes, you are correct. It is respiration. Now, what is respiration? You will say, we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. That is respiration. No, that is not over for all of respiration. Respiration means it is a process by which we get energy from our food. So, respiration is a process in which the food is broken down and energy is released. So, oxygen is used for breakdown of the food inside the cells to release energy, and this process is called respiration. So, oxygen is used for the breakdown of food inside the cells to release energy. This process is called respiration. So, one of the components of air, that is oxygen is required for getting energy from food. That is the process of respiration. Second thing, oxygen is also used for the combustion process. Let us see combustion. Combustion means burning of the things. So, burning, what is required the burning for? The burning is required for the burning of the fuel to get energy. For example, we drive our vehicles for transportation purpose or for going from one place to another. So without the combustion of petrol, we cannot drive the vehicle. So combustion means burning of the fossil fuels to get energy. So burning of the fossil fuel is required for cooking, for transportation, etc. Another component of air is carbon dioxide. And we know that food gives us energy. And from where we get the food? We get the food from plants or animals. So plants prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis to prepare food for us. Second thing, carbon dioxide is also used by some aquatic animals to make the shells of their body. And as you see, shells protect their body. So carbon dioxide, which dissolves in the water, is used by the marine animals. Marine means those who lives inside the ocean. Marine animals in the form of carbonate salts to prepare their shells. So children, these are the uses of air. So main component of the air, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, are very much useful to us, and later we are going to see nitrogen is also useful to us in the preparation of protein that we eat. So air is a resource for us. Now this is one of the questions. Whatever I am showing you here is all the things I am going to send you in the PDF form, and you have to write it in your fair book, because in science not only the exercise questions but all the topics from inside the textbook may be asked in the exam, and you must know it. So this is your first extra question, that is write the uses of air. Now second thing, air is also used in the formation of wind, and we know that wind is a form of energy, that is windmill in many of the projects you have made. So how is wind formed? That is our second question. How is wind formed? Now, what is the definition of wind? Movement of air is called wind. Why the air should move from one place to another? The reasons are there. Air always moves, that is, air always blows from a high pressure area, from a low pressure area to the high pressure. Area always blow from the high pressure area to the low pressure area. Now, why the high pressure and low pressure area is created on the earth? That we have to see. Now see that wind is caused by the uneven heating of the atmosphere in different regions of the earth. Wind is caused by the uneven heating of the atmosphere in different regions of the earth. Okay, uneven heating of the different regions of the earth. Let us see why the wind blows during the daytime. Now, see this diagram. Here we see it is a daytime where the sun shines. So, sun's rays, they falls on the land as well as water. So, on land and water equally they fall. But we know the land gets heated faster than water. So, during the morning time up to 4 o'clock, first of all the land will get heated very much. Until then, the whole volume of water cannot be heated all at a time within such few hours. So at this time, during the daytime, the water is cooler and the land is hotter. So the area where the heat is there, if hot air molecules rises up, it can be shown that when we boil some water in a container, the steam rises and the steam rises in the upward direction. Similarly, when the land gets heated, then the hot air molecules rises up. So if all the air molecules are going to rise up, then here some vacuum is created. That means a region is there where the number of air molecules is less. So if the number of air molecules is less, we can say that here low pressure of air molecule is there. That means the number of air molecules is less on the land, near the land surface. At the same time, here the water is cooler. So the cold air molecules will stay near the surface of the water. So here during the daytime, high pressure of the air is there. High pressure means number of air molecules is more on the surface of water. And air always blows from the high pressure area towards the low pressure area. That means from the water towards the land. During the daytime, the air moves from the water towards the land. Now, this can be written this way, that when the radiation from the sun reaches the earth's surface, it falls both on the land and water. So, land gets heated faster than water. Hence, air around the land also gets heated and all the air molecules rises up. When most of the hot air molecules rises up, the number of air molecules surrounding the land becomes less, and hence low pressure is created surrounding the land, and water gets heated slower. So most of the cold air molecules remains near the surface of the water, and a high pressure of air is created near the water surface. So air moves from water surface towards the land surface, that is from high pressure area to the low pressure area. This movement of air is called wind. So during daytime, the wind blows from the water towards the land surface, and the opposite things happens during the night time. The land gets cooler faster than water, and there is a high pressure surrounding the land as it is cold, and the low pressure of air surrounds the water. So air moves from land towards the water bodies. So this is how wind is created during the daytime as well as night time.